When the first Captain Marvel trailer came out, I was skeptical because I thought it was bad. I wasn't excited for it. I felt it was very weak. And there are very few Marvel trailers I felt this way about. When the second trailer came out, I went, oof, man, that wasn't good either. And I was worried that because of Brie Larson's past and some controversial statements she's made, overtly politicizing, what she does and her role, I was leaning towards, man, maybe this might be another Ghostbusters, right? But the third trailer came out, and I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was really good. You finally saw some personality, some character, some laughing moments, and I was like, wow, they're actually, bringing in some life into the trailer. Okay, so okay. A TV spot dropped called Ready. And in it, you can hear someone whispering, saying, you'll never make it. This is not a game for little girls. And I went, whoa, whoa, whoa. And then this thing appears on the screen where it says, with her. And then an A and an O appear. So it's like, with her. And then a hero. And I went, oh, geez. Okay. Come on, man. Look, I said this in my last video. We're going to read through this. Trolls are already review bombing Captain Marvel on Rotten Tomatoes. If you want to make a movie about, women overcoming the boys and showing the boys how it's done, but for sure, do your thing. You go ahead and watch it. I'm not interested in that. You had, I think it was Brie Larson who said this. She's playing Captain Marvel. That A Wrinkle in Time, she said, I don't care what white men, I could be wrong, but I vaguely remember saying something like, I don't care if white men don't like A Wrinkle in Time. It wasn't made for you. Okay, well, that's why it bombed. It was made for a specific audience, but they jacked up the budget. Listen, you want to make a movie for women and the narrative is overcoming the boys, again, do your thing. More power to you. You're free speech. You have rights, pursuit of happiness. I respect your right to do it. Just don't expect me to watch it. I'm not going to give you my money. The movie should be for everybody, which means it should be generally relatable to everybody, not only women, or it shouldn't be denigrating to men. I don't know if that movie is. And one of the big criticisms I have for a lot of people ragging on Captain Marvel is they're distinctly saying this movie does denigrate men. No, hold on. The movie's not out yet. I very well may go see it eventually, but I'm skipping the opening weekend and the premiere, and I will only watch it pending reviews. I felt slighted by Ghostbusters and by The Last Jedi. I really wanted to walk out of those movies, but it's like, man, I'm here. I need to finish it. I've decided because of these movies, because of what we're seeing from Brie Larson, because of the controversy surrounding it, I'm going to sit this one out, okay? And look at this. Trolls are already review bombing Captain Marvel on Rotten Tomatoes. Trolls. Is that what you call people who go and voice their opinion on a website? Why is it that people are simply not liking the marketing for this that makes them trolls? No, trolls are when they purposefully try and, manipulate you into getting a reaction. In this instance, it's just people saying, I don't want to see this movie, and here's why. Doesn't make them a troll. Let's read what they say. Captain Marvel is already getting review bombed on Rotten Tomatoes. Directed by Anna Boden and Ryan Fleck, the next film on the Marvel Cinematic Universe docket will officially introduce Brie Larson as Carol Danvers, the franchise's first female headlining hero, who happens to also be the most powerful one. Teased in the post-credit scene for Avengers Infinity War, the upcoming movie will serve as the character's origin story. Okay. Who's the most powerful Marvel character right now? Probably Thor. Because he's an Asgardian, he's a god. He doesn't need to be the most powerful. And in fact, there are other abilities that make the other Avengers, the other Marvel characters, very powerful. Doctor Strange is my favorite Marvel character in the MCU right now. I love that movie. In fact, Doctor Strange may be my favorite movie, period. And it's funny, a lot of people are like, how dare you? There's so many better movies. No, I really, really like that movie. What I like that Doctor Strange is just a normal guy. He's got a good memory and he's smart. And he becomes a master of the mystic arts, not necessarily because he's better than everyone else, because everyone else kind of dies, but he defeats Dormammu and he's not even that powerful. He's just smart and he has an Infinity Stone. So it gives him a bit of humanity. He's not a perfect character. When he's fighting Caecilius's henchman dude, he tries to make a shield, the shield fails. Then you see, this transformation in Infinity War where he goes from kind of not being that good, though he is learning extremely quickly and he's very gifted, to actually taking on Thanos, no armor, just using the mystic arts. Iron Man got beat down by him, right? He beat up Thor, he beat up the Hulk, he beat all these other Avengers, and Doctor Strange was able to go, one-on-one with him, and he had to use the gauntlet, the power of the Soul Stone, and the Power Stone to actually help him defeat Doctor Strange. Ultimately, I love that. The reason I bring this up, it just so happens that she's the most powerful hero. It's like, listen, man. You don't need to make these things are all lining up to make me feel like, man, I definitely need to skip this movie. I definitely need to. Okay, why is Captain Marvel the most powerful hero? Does she need to be? It doesn't matter if she is, but it really does feel like a shoehorn. The analogy I use for everything is about grains of sand. There's not like one moment where I'm like, how dare they be feminist? No, I don't care if you're a feminist. I don't care if the movie is about feminism. It's about all these little things adding up to make me feel like it's going to be another Ghostbusters or Last Jedi with a Mary Sue character. Now, based on the trailers, and I've watched all of them, which is a lot, the TV spots, and the TV spots in the trailers, it seems like initially she's not very powerful. She doesn't know how to control her abilities. And then by the end, when she's changed the color of her suit, she's like flying through the air and punching, jets and stuff. So I think they're not going to make it like she's a Mary Sue. I think she's going to develop her powers. I think Marvel is much better at, doing movies like this. I thought Black Panther was awesome. I really do. I don't like the stupid political posturing around it, but I think it was overall it was a good movie. It wasn't the best. It wasn't award-winning. I just thought it was an enjoyable movie, and admittedly not one I'm really interested in watching again. But I love how they handled the politics of refugees and ethnicity and race and things like that. They kind of mixed it up and made it a really interesting perspective. What I'm seeing here with Captain Marvel now, they're making her the most powerful hero. She's going to be the face of the next iteration of the next phase of the MCU. It just feels like when you combine this with her talking about her feminism, her activism, and white men, and the trailer where they're like, this is not a game for little girls, it really does feel like they're going to Ghostbusters the MCU. I'm definitely going to see Endgame, definitely going to see Spider-Man, and I'll probably end up eventually seeing Captain Marvel. I'm not making this video to do one of these stupid, like, oh, how dare feminists. I was watching a bunch of criticisms, and I got really, really frustrated with the Captain Marvel criticism because it seems like people are judging the movie before they've even seen it because of Brie Larson and because of some of these trailers. I want to make it clear. I am not expressing my distaste for Captain Marvel because I assume the movie is going to, I know what it is going to be. I'm going to skip the premiere and wait until I hear, the reviews, okay? And it's mostly because the way they've marketed it and because of Brie Larson and because of things like this. It's not even just about the movie. So again, to clarify, I'm not saying the movie is going to be this girl power thing. I'm not going to make assumptions about the plot. I think Marvel will probably do a good job, but I don't want to be taken for a ride again like I was with Ghostbusters or The Last Jedi. And because there's enough instances of like her needlessly being the most powerful hero, just like all of a sudden, look, the other heroes in Captain Marvel, the other heroes in the MCU aren't necessarily more or less powerful. And that's why it's interesting to see Civil War when they're all fighting against each other. I mean, look, Clint and Natasha are just humans who are skilled, right? They're certainly not the most powerful. That's cool. Then you have Ant-Man, he can grow and shrink, and he uses those abilities to empower himself, like to strategically go about solving problems. Thor actually needed a new weapon to defeat Thanos. He's very, very strong, but his powers are relatively limited. Now it's like, you never need to claim that Thor was the most powerful. It just so happened that he was particularly powerful. You could argue that Ultron was more powerful, got defeated by the power of all of them together, or that Vision was more powerful. There was never a need to say, this is the most powerful here, but they're doing it for Captain Marvel. You combine this with, I'm just going to show you this trailer real quick. This one, the Ready TV spot. I'm not going to play it, but here's the thing, right? Oh no, what's it doing? What is this? This is a different video. Why are you doing this? Okay, so you heard that whispering, and in this trailer, you can go watch it because I don't want to play it. I don't want to get copyright claimed or whatever. It says you can see her like climbing, and then the next scene I think is her falling. Where is it going to come on? Show me her falling. And it's saying things like, you're not good enough, and it shows her trying to play baseball, and they say, this is not a sport for little girls, and then she falls down, and then, it keeps showing her falling down, and then it shows her, like, in the end, like, she gets up, and she's standing up and defying. But there's just, like, this trailer really killed it for me. It really did, right? There's that point where she's walking out with, I think her name's Monica Rambeau, and she's like, let's show these boys how it's done, and I'm like, there it is. And then there's this scene where it's like, she stands up in front of this one right here. She stands up with, like, I'm assuming this is where she gets chosen for something or some reason. And I feel like there's too much in this and others that really lay on the, like, girl power narrative a bit too much for me. And so here's my thing. I'm a big fan of Marvel movies. I think Black Panther was great. I'm pretty sure Captain Marvel will be a good movie. I'm going to wait until the reviews are out. Now, The one point I want to make too about why I'm kind of just like, God, I'm so sick of this, man. It's not just the movie. It's not just the character. You know, a lot of people, I saw people were saying that Captain Marvel won't succeed because no one cares about Captain Marvel. There's no demand for her. But you have to recognize the reason why they did Thor and they did Iron Man initially was because they sold the rights to their more popular characters. So it's possible. I think Captain Marvel will make money for sure. I know that the projections for revenue have been going down a lot. That it was initially like 180 million and now it's like between 80 and 100. Sure, that's fine, whatever. But I'm also just sick of the culture war stuff, right? I talk about this stuff all day, every day. I don't watch superhero movies to have to deal with this. That's kind of an issue for me. I don't care if they have a female hero. I thought Wonder Woman is a fantastic, incredible movie. I give it an A+. I give it like an 8.5, maybe 9 out of 10. I think they handled the politics extremely well. They handled it was just I just thought it was fantastic. I really, really did. I loved the contrast of idealism versus realism, mother versus like motherly, matriarchy versus patriarchy, like the Chris Pine and Gal Gadot, you know, like arguing about these issues. But the last thing I want to bring up that's really bugging me and just making me sick and tired of this is, listen, there are people who are upset. They're upset because Brie Larson is a controversial person. And I know you should, I think you can separate the art from the artist. I think Don Cheadle is overtly political, but I think he's absolutely amazing as War Machine. One of my favorite characters in the MCU, absolutely. I love the scene in Avengers Age of Ultron when he's trying to tell his War Machine story and they like don't care, but then he tells the other people and they laugh and he's like, that's right. I think Don Cheadle's fantastic. I love the contrast of him and Iron Man, how he's more of a tactical expert, knows what he's doing, extremely physically capable. And Tony Stark is not physically, but mentally capable. And you put those together, it's awesome. So I think Don Cheadle's overly political and sometimes that annoys me, but I don't care. And the same is true for Brie Larson. I'm willing to separate that. What really annoys me, though, is why is this movie, why does the culture war, why do these issues need to be so front and center all the time? I'm not talking about these. I'm talking about everyone yelling about these. Look, I don't care if people want to come in here and say they don't want to see the movie, right? So they said the review bombing is not, they're not review bombing, they're just saying they don't want to see the movie. Okay, what do you expect? You're getting political on a piece of entertainment. You know, what I said about Brie Larson and the press tour when she said that she doesn't want to be overwhelmingly white and male. It's like, I get that. I really, really do. Trust me, I do. But there's a negative way and a positive way to frame things. If she said, I want to make sure we can include a diverse set of voices as we do the press tour, there would have been a lot less. There still would have been people screaming for sure. When you frame it as, I don't want white men, you know, I don't want that many white men on my press tour, people immediately view it as a negative. It's derisive. It's divisive. When you say things like, let's just make sure we can get a wide range of perspectives, then people are going to be like, okay, for sure, right? So I think there's a negative way and a positive way to go about it. Now, for all these people, someone said, interesting, there have been no screenings yet. That's not true. I believe there have been screenings. Larson has made it clear men need not attend this movie, right? You can clearly see that people are upset about, they're clearly upset about the politics involving this. But listen, just because people are coming here and saying, I don't want to see it, I'm saying a similar thing, doesn't mean that it's a troll factory trying to destroy the movie. No, it's you entered the culture war. Expect pushback. You didn't need to. Why couldn't they just make this movie and leave the culture war stuff out of it? Why does the, I want to make sure, again, I'm trying to make sure I'm making it clear. This trailer is one of many, and many of them don't push the overtly girl power thing, but they do have that her and a hero thing, which was like, oh no, come on, man. So I'm not saying the movie's going to be bad. I think it'll actually be pretty good. I'm betting on it being pretty good, but I'm too concerned that I'm going to get Last Jedi or Ghostbusters, so I'm not going to go, check it out. But I'm really frustrated that simply because people want to express their opinion of why they're frustrated over this movie, they get labeled trolls, they get attacked. It's like, okay, look. This person said, search the lead actress. Drew doesn't want us going as white male. I won't go. Drew, I hope your movie is good without me. Yes. Could you, I understand the difference between the perception of white men being the majority group and any other minority group. As someone who has experienced denigration based on both a minority status and a majority status, I'm too white, or I'm not white enough, or I'm too white, depending on which faction is yelling at me. I don't like the idea of being denigrated at all. I have been insulted for being mixed, for being Asian, and for being white, and they all feel bad. And I can certainly understand why somebody would hear her sentiment about white men and be like, well, screw you then, right? Why are you denigrating my identity? I didn't do anything to you. I can't change who I am. And that's true for everybody. That doesn't change the fact that you can believe in white privilege and still recognize that shitting on white people makes them feel bad. But when I talk to people, I was talking to a guy from the Young Turks, and he said, so what? They're on top. I'm like, so what? I care about people's feelings, right? Ben Shapiro can be right when he says facts don't care about your feelings, but I still try to respect people's feelings because you have to navigate emotions if you want to get people to understand things. If you want people to see this perspective of Captain Marvel and potentially a feminist perspective, which she has called her activism, which is another thing that pushes me away, then you need to respect those who disagree with you. We need to respect everybody. You know what? Wow, this is long. Okay, I'm going to end here. Captain Marvel. Not going to see it. Anyway, I'll probably end up seeing it later on. I'm skipping the opening weekend and until I can see the reviews and see what people say about it. So anyway, thanks for hanging out. Next video coming up at 4 p.m. on youtube.com/Timcast. I'll see you then.